We are alarmed by reports that the British government is ordering Apple to break into users' encrypted data, igniting a massive international clash over privacy and encryption.
It's essentially akin to asking people to leave their curtains open or leave their back doors
Users
open.
might actually never know if the Home Office do get this, are able to access encrypted data.
The people whose privacy will be compromised will be normal, everyday, law-abiding citizens.
In an unprecedented attack on privacy rights, the government is reportedly demanding that Apple create a backdoor that would break encryption for millions of innocent users around the world. And American lawmakers are furious. But before I tell you more, I want to take you back a decade to explain some context. This was Keir Starmer in 2015 discussing proposed surveillance powers while in opposition.
I think most people rightly think that surveillance should be targeted at those that need to be identified, etc. But it shouldn't be general and shouldn't apply to the public in general and them in particular.
Just a year after Starmer sat down in a BBC studio to say this, the British government passed the Investigatory Powers Act, also known as the Snoopers Charter, one of the most intrusive surveillance laws ever introduced in a democratic country.
The new bill is the latest in a series of attempts to update the law to allow police and security services to access communications data.
A new law going into effect in the UK gives the British government sweeping new surveillance capabilities.
The law forces internet service providers to store a record of every website you visit for a full year.
They do allow the interception of vast quantities of foreign and domestic communications, acquire records of entire nations' phone and internet records, and permit industrial-scale exploitation of phones and computers.
It seems like it's virtually impossible to do anything on the internet without some of your information ending up in a site like this.
It also gives intelligence agencies the power to hack into devices, networks, and services.
The danger with hacking that's even graver than just listening is that when the authorities effectively damage the security of a network, granted for laudable reasons because they want to listen and their investigation is over, that network is potentially permanently undermined.
Fast forward to today, and those warnings have become reality. The British government is now using powers under the Investigatory Powers Act to force Apple to undermine encryption for millions of users worldwide. End-to-end encryption ensures that when messages are sent between two people, only those two people can read the message. No one, not even an internet service provider, the police, or intelligence agencies, can read the content of the message. End-to-end encryption is crucial to protect activists, journalists, human rights defenders, whistleblowers, and vulnerable groups in the UK and all over the world from criminals and intelligence agencies. The UK's encryption-breaking order to Apple was compelled in secret, with Apple gagged from saying anything about it. The only reason we know about it in the first place is because of an unnamed source who leaked the information to the Washington Post. And the Home Office's response to this?
I can neither confirm nor deny details of any such operation.
American lawmakers have seen red over the proposals. Members of Congress have called on Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard to consider limiting intelligence sharing with the UK if the Home Secretary does not rescind her secret encryption breaching order to Apple.
You introduced legislation prohibiting the government from mandating that Americans' phones or apps include mechanisms to allow the government to bypass encryption or other privacy technology. In your written responses to the committee questions, you reconfirmed your opposition to these mandates. Is that still your position?
Yes, these backdoors lead down a dangerous path that can undermine Americans' Fourth Amendment rights and civil liberties.
In a letter penned by veteran Democratic Senator Ron Wyden and Republican Congressman Andy Biggs, they even accused our government of permitting, quote, what is effectively a foreign cyber attack waged through political means. Make no mistake, this order is a huge attack on global privacy and could have massive consequences on UK-US relations. The idea of end-to-end encryption being compromised creates a chilling effect that will inevitably affect free expression online. And if the privacy of our messaging channels is compromised, then the ability to use them to speak freely is also compromised.
Big Brother Watch have released a statement. They say it's going to be damaging to privacy.
That is why the Big Brother Watch team has been working flat out across the airwaves, telling the media, the public, and politicians why this unprecedented attack on our phones must be stopped. We've joined forces with other civil society organizations, mobilizing joint letters urging the Home Secretary to drop these plans. We're holding the government to account, but we're only as strong as the support we receive. If you want to fight back against this reckless attack on global privacy, then please consider joining us as a monthly supporter. You can find the link in the description to this video. And please remember to subscribe to our channel for more. Thank you for your support.